Order. Would you all please rise to the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm going to ask Pastor Dave to please come up and do our invocation.
Lord's Prayer, it says, Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name, your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as we have forgiven our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Father, we ask you that your will would be done in all the proceedings and conversations that are done this evening and throughout this week. We ask, Lord, that you would provide those in authority over our township, Lord, wisdom and insight. I pray that you would guard them from temptation. I pray, Lord, that they would be able to forgive and release forgiveness. And Father, we just, commit everything done to you and to your name. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now I would ask for roll call, please.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Greg?
Here.
Trustee Holston? Trustee Horn? Trustee Racick?
Present.
Trustee Vincent? Here.
Okay, I would just mention that Trustee Holston took his wife to the hospital earlier this afternoon, and I believe he may still be there. He said he might make it depending on circumstances, so it looks like Trustee Holston will not make it. So I just want to let everyone know that. And now I'd like to open to the public. Agenda items only. Is there anything you'd like to say about the agenda? Please come forward. Okay, we'll move on to the consent agenda. You've all had your minutes. I hope you had time to read them in 2 days. We try to get them out on time. If there's no comments about it, I'd like a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make that one.
Any other discussion on it? Roll call, please.
Trustee Greg?
Yes.
Trustee Racick?
Yes.
Trustee Vincent?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
And I might apologize for these large chairs in front. I cannot see some people out there. I'm sure they can't see some of us. If we have no one coming from now on, we'll push it to the side. Thank you very much. Can't hide anymore, Dave. Let's pick it on DJ. Okay, let's move on to the clerk's report.
Just really quick, I posted this on Facebook, but the South Suburban Mayors and Managers Association sent a Six Flags Fright Fest discount, saving over 50%, and wanted to share it with the Monee residents. It is for the dates of October 6th, 7th, and 8th, or 9th, and you just go online to sixflags.com and enter the promo SSMMAFF and print your tickets. Any report?
Thank you, Anisha. I have nothing on my agenda, but I just want to mention one thing. I'm very proud of the team at our IML conference. We had trustees that were moderators of different sessions. The sessions were very interesting. Also, along with the trustees, there were department heads and clerk and things like that. They were very diligent in going to different sessions and picking up information. If I may just take 60 seconds, I'll tell you that I went to a number of them, I'm sorry, but one of them I went to sticks in my mind. It was chaired by the mayor of Coal City and his administrator. They have suffered 2 tornadoes. And I went to that on purpose because I felt that they've been through that terrible tragedy twice, and they ought to have a game plan, if I may say, that they could share with other communities, and I was very interested in it. I really got some high points about if we ever had a tragedy here of things we need to do. A simple thing like having a command center. Pick out a spot for a command center, but pick out two opposite places of the community, obviously, not right next to each other. And that way you can control the press and a lot of other things. There were many high points I picked up in that, which I will share with the trustees if they didn't go to that particular one. And that's the idea, going to different sessions. So it was very important to me because I know the fire department and our EMA and our police department would be involved in that, but it's great to pick up some points from people that have actually been through it. End of my comments. Thank you for listening. We'll move on to the administrator's report. David.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And on behalf of the staff that attended IML, we thank you and the Board of Trustees for the opportunity to attend. There was a lot of good sessions there, and we enjoyed those as we attended and got to meet our counterparts from other municipalities. So there is a significant benefit there. Item H1 on the agenda is a request from Pam Masiaga, I hope that's pretty close to the right pronunciation, of Locust Place, requesting to hold a block party on October 7th, and the hours would be from 2 p.m. to 12 a.m. The reason before the board is she is requesting a street closure on Locust Place from Mill Street to Mulberry Lane. And I put that up for approval at the board level.
Do you have any discussion on this?
I actually have some discussion on it. When you go south of the police department and you go to Locust Lane, it literally is a lane at this point. When you have, because you have parking on both sides. Okay, so it's kind of tight now. My only concern is, so they're going to take their cars out and they're going to have family members coming in where you want to detour. And again, I understand where it's not a lot of traffic going that way, but where, and I can see the chief kind of doing a little bit of this, where are we going to put these cars in? How are we going to maintain that area for basically, 10 to 12 hours of all this traffic and people walking? That's my only concern, is because it's a tight area when you go behind the police department and people coming in and out of Walker's Grove, where most of the traffic comes from Walker's Grove going towards 50 instead of coming around. Can't even think of the street name. Chief, I don't know if you might want to have a little input on this. That's my only concern. I'm not trying to knock a block party, but my only concern is how much is this really going to screw up that little area for 10 to 12 hours?
The only thing I would say is that we would just monitor it and make sure that we keep the traffic lanes open and that there's not anybody parking on somebody's property or blocking any driveways or anything like that. I don't think that it'll be a major issue, and we'll handle it as it goes along.
The indication also was that it was a block party. There was also contained in your packet, I believe, were signatures of the neighbors. So it's not so much, at least under my impression, that many people will be coming from different areas other than just holding the block party there in their own little area. Any communication I would recommend that we would take place ahead of time, maybe offer some guidance, and as always, in an emergency, those things would have to be moved, so fire apparatus, things of that nature could get through an emergency. But
yeah, I'm not against having block party, just, again, you're coming in off of Court Street or Main Street and going that way.
Right. All good questions, and we could certainly bring those concerns to their attention, and as Chief indicated, monitor during the party itself.
I would be all in for it. I think that's a great idea. But I also would suggest that we
as administration and bring to the board a policy for this so that we do not have to have a board action request every time something like this comes up.
Any other discussion? Have a motion, please.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Racick.
Yes.
Trustee Vincent.
Yes.
Trustee Booth.
Yes.
Trustee Gray.
Yes.
Thank you very much. We will reach out, make contact, and have the police department discuss those matters of concern. Item H2 on the agenda has to do with the IT equipment, continued purchase of IT equipment, I should say, regarding the infrastructure upgrade throughout the municipality. The numbers that were originally afforded the board in my report, they have changed a little bit simply because some new pricing was offered. We're able to piggyback on that new pricing. And so there will be two instances here, but the main emphasis of my paragraph indicating that because although our intent is we are proceeding with a village hall and a police department IT infrastructure upgrade, because we are one single municipality, one end user, that project could be construed as one project. And after discussion with the council, corporate council, it was better thought that we are safe than sorry, and that from this point on, any additional purchases having to do with the IT projects, plural, that we ask the board to waive the bidding process so long as we have provided alternative bidding or alternative pricing to the board, so that we are above reproach on piecemealing that project. Piecemealing is not the word I wanted, but so anyway, and I'd like to defer to Larry just for a second so he can further explain that.
I agree with Mr. Wallace. You don't want to give the impression that you are, as Dave said, piecemealing the project. It's best that you waive the bid process, in my opinion. You put it in the minutes, the board approved to waive the bid process, and this is for purchase of equipment. It's done quite a bit where villages do go out to buy equipment, like Dave has indicated. He has received 3 proposals, I believe, so I think we're very, very safe. But I would emphasize that it might be best that we formally waive the bid process to put it in the minutes.
Thank you, Attorney Grzeszewski. So on the first item, it would be for the what's labeled as the police department infrastructure. That has to do with the hardware issues of things there, switches, other items that, battery backups, things of the nature. And we have 3 quotes, and again, these have changed. SHI was a $14,809. CDWG was $14,322.13, and PCMG was $14,585.00. And so the lowest bid at that point would be from CDWG at $14,322.13.
We have all 15.
Yes, as I had indicated, those numbers had changed since that went out. So, and that's why I read those numbers off. It's actually a little less, so we would be looking for a motion to waive that bid process and approve the purchase of the equipment, in this case from CDWG at $14,322.13.
So I'll make that motion.
I'll second the motion.
This is the first motion to waive bid process, and then we'll award it to the,
Okay, a motion to waive the bidding process, I need first.
first set.
Is that fine with the first and second? Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Horn,
Yes.
trustee Racick,
Yes.
trustee Vincent,
Yes.
trustee Blue,
Yes.
trustee Gray.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Now, next would be to actually award that bid to CDWG in the amount of $14,322.13.
Right. It might be appropriate too, like we did before in the past, if the numbers have changed and fluctuated, you might want to indicate not to exceed, $16,000, $17,000 ballpark. Dave has been successful negotiating, but that's a moving target, so you, rather than going back before the board again, you might want to say not to exceed $17,000.
Any discussion on that? Can I have a motion, please?
I'll entertain that motion.
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Racick,
Yes.
trustee Vincent,
Yes.
trustee Blue,
Yes.
trustee Gray,
Yes.
trustee Horn,
Yes.
Thank you very much. And for clarification, was that motion not to exceed 17,000?
Yes.
Thank you. I tracked that. And the second item has to do with software purchase. This is where we were able to couple on to a aggressive pricing structure. And I would ask Attorney Macheski, do we go through the same process, waive this bidding?
Yes, yes, sir.
So I would be asking the board at this point to waive the bid process on this software. And it's broken out, it does not show on your sheet, but the price ranges from $3,112 to $3,897.24. We'd be asking the board to make a motion to waive the bidding process.
I'll make the motion.
Do you think we want to put a little contingency on that too? If they're asking. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. We'll just continue on the basis. The motion, did we get a second? I'm sorry.
I'll second.
Second.
Discussion, is that one piece of software or two or many?
That is 5 pieces of software.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
trustee Blue,
Yes.
trustee Gray,
Yes.
trustee Holston, trustee Horn,
Yes.
trustee Racick,
Yes.
trustee Vincent,
Yes.
Thank you very much. And now to award that bid, I would ask the board that we award the contract to SHI in the amount of $3,112 even. The other bids were CDWG in the amount of $3,897.24 and PCMG at $3,755 even. So the lowest bid was SHI for $3,112 even. And if you care to raise that to an amount not to exceed $5,000 or so, that would be much appreciated.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
trustee Blue,
Yes.
trustee Gray,
Yes.
trustee Horn,
Yes.
trustee Racick,
Yes.
trustee Vincent.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Mr. Mayor, that concludes my report this evening.
Thank you, Administrator Wallace. I just wanted to make a comment about this. This is not a normal procedure for the board, but we're kind of in unknown territory as the companies that are working on this dig into it. And where we can, obviously, we're going out for bids and all that, not to exceed things. We're trying to do our due diligence. This is a very, very important step for the total administration, every office in the building, and And the police department, oh my God, they're in the year 1900. I think we got them there 2000 now, we're getting there. So it is very important. I don't mean that as a joke. We were appalled at the condition of the system at the police department. So, okay, we'll move on to officials report. Public Works, Trustee Gray.
One thing this evening, we're going to talk about Gypsum Trail again. You notice everything has gone to the east side heading north. That's because P.T. Farrell has pretty much finished up the underground work, which is the sewers. Starting next week, they're going to be tearing up the asphalt and starting the curbs on the west side of Egyptian Trail. And once again, just please be patient with us. I know that our officers have been sitting there because a little bit of social media I see, some people still think that they own the road, but there are officers out there watching. But the majority of it is the west side is going to start getting torn up with the asphalt and with the curbs going on. And I will have a discussion, a minor discussion with our superintendent about the rocks as you go down going north. Get to be little potholes, and as the weather starts to change a little bit, we've already talked about it once, and they have worked on it and just dropping gravel down again. So just again, everything is going well. Just be patient. For the most part, the detour around 50 and coming up down Monee Manhattan Road actually is a little more backed up than usual because people are actually observing, letting people do their work. So again, that's what I have for now. Thank you.
If you don't mind, Trustee Gray, I'd like to add to that, if I could, just a statement to the public. We have to sign our billboard out front, ask you to try to avoid that area. And if you notice, if you do go down it, you stop them from moving dirt, you stop them from digging in one section, trucks have to pull off to the side. It extends the time element for the contractor and for the village to get the road done. So I had asked everyone that's watching TV or that's here to spread the word, try to really, disregard Egyptian Trail. You're going to help the whole situation and we'll get it done quicker. Okay, we'll move on to Parks and Recs. Trustee Fitz, I'm sorry.
Okay, first, I'd like to talk about Fall Fest. We are going to be having a revenue and expense report, but we are going to wait 30 days from the fest so that we do get all our bills in. And it's a little bit cleaner that way. We still have some sponsorship and some bills out there. So we will be waiting 30 days from the fest, so we will be reporting around the end of October. Then we are going to have a park meeting for anyone who's interested on Tuesday, October 3rd at 4 p.m. and that'll be at the Park Building. And then there's going to be a senior luncheon on October 20th from noon to 2, and the cost is $3, and you can sign up at Parks or at the Village Hall. And then we will be looking for volunteers for Halloween happenings, which will be October 28th from 5 to 7 at Fireman's Park. And everyone.
Okay, we'll move on to finance, and Trustee Holston, as I mentioned, is not here. If anyone on the Finance Committee wishes to make some statements, please do so.
The Finance Committee met.
I'm sorry.
The Finance Committee met on Monday and reviewed all the warrants. They did their due diligence on that and also opened discussions on the viability of the traffic court. It simply was an open discussion. We didn't really get very far with it. But at least we started.
Thank you very much. If you weren't going to say that, I was. Okay, we'll move on to economic development. Trustee Blue.
Really enjoyed my first IML. It was eye-opening. I learned a lot. And I've come back with so many ideas. It's scary. So put your seatbelts on. I don't have any other reports from economic development because I know that Kevin Daly is working really hard. He's also going to the International Retail Conference next week in Navy Pier, and is it this week? It's this week. And he already had lots of appointments made before he went, so he is going to come back with lots to talk about, I'm sure, as well. I just found it really interesting how many questions were answered just by attending the conference. You know, we think it's so easy, we want, let's have an Aldi, let's have a this, let's have a that, and you find that the questions are answered before you even ask them because of different criteria, so it was really useful. It's not a strictly economic development, but we will have our next meeting of the review of the review committee for the crime-free ordinance. That's this coming Monday, the 2nd, and it's at 4 o'clock. That has been posted. Thank you, Michelle. And that's in here, and of course the public is welcome to attend. End of report.
Thank you, Trustee Blue. We'll move on to building services. Trustee Horn.
I have no report today.
Okay, we'll move on to public safety. Anthony Razak.
We got a few things. First, from the police department, Monee Officer Matt Hoekstra will complete his training this week and graduate from the South Suburban Police Academy on Friday. Hoekstra will join the afternoon shift on Sunday and will begin the field training process. Also from the police, Amazon is going to hire an event parking company to assist with the traffic concerns as they continue to gear up for full operation. They will work closely with the Monee Police Department in an effort to educate Amazon employees and decrease traffic incidents. And lastly, I got an email report. Monee email was called out last Saturday, September 16th, to assist the Civil Air Patrol in conducting a commissioning ceremony and open house for their new office located at 2621 West Offner Road near Bolt Field. People were shuttled from Bolt Field to the new location throughout the day. The event was well received and went off without a hitch. And lastly, on September 30th, there was a hazardous waste drop-off event located at the Continental Midland parking lot located at 24,000 Southwestern Avenue. The hours will be from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. People are encouraged to bring household chemicals, old paints and stains, rechargeable batteries, fluorescent light bulbs, used oil, and other various hazard waste items. You can find additional information at willcountygreen.com or the Village of Monee website. And then there's a flyer for the hazardous waste drop-off event. There's going to be some of the village. Yeah. There's going to be copies of the village hall. People are interested.
Before we move into the attorney's report, I want to let the trustees know I didn't give you any calls this week or so before the meeting, telling you I would always give you a heads up on what's coming up. Well, the items that our attorney has in front of us today have been discussed before. I think you're all keyed into what's going on. So that's why you didn't hear from the mayor. Thank you. Move on to attorney's report.
Thank you, Mayor. I got 5 items for the board's consideration. The board recalls in our first meeting of last month, we had a public hearing to establish tip number 6. There was no public comment. Therefore, we have the authority, if the board deems appropriate, to pass the following ordinances to designate tip number 6, which would be, I think, Ridgeland and Monee Manhattan Road. So there are 3 ordinances for the board's review. The first ordinance will be an ordinance designating tip number 6.
I think we all know what that is, creating 6, so there's no discussion. I should say, can I have a motion to approve it, the ordinance?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razak?
Yes.
Trustee Vincent? Yes. Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Ordinance number, Commissioner.
Ordinance number 1813.
Thank you, Mayor. The next ordinance, it has to be adopted in order to establish a tax increment finance district. In connection with tip number 6 would be an ordinance adopting tax increment financing for redevelopment project area number 6.
A motion to adopt project?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Not roll call, please.
Trustee Horn,
Yes.
trustee Racer,
Yes.
trustee Vincent,
Yes.
trustee Blue,
Yes.
trustee Gray,
Yes.
and it's 18-14.
Thank you, Mayor. And the last ordinance in connection with this TIF number 6 is an ordinance approving the redevelopment plan and project for TIF number 6. The plan was submitted by Tuscan Associates. It's been up for review and comment by the public. So this ordinance would now establish TIF number 6.
I have a motion to approve that.
Make the motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Horn,
Yes.
trustee Racer,
Yes.
trustee Vincent,
Yes.
trustee Blue,
Yes.
trustee Gray,
Yes.
and that's 18-15.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item is for Bill recalls, we entered into an agreement with the Kersey Builders a while ago, probably 3 or 4 years ago. At this point in time, he has, I understand, built substantially completed a home out there. In connection with the agreement, a couple of years ago, he was conveying lots to us that we need in order to put up a water tower. He's ready to convey that to us, but what we did in consideration for those conveyances, we convey outlot 8 to a quitclaim deed. We're getting a little more land than he's conveying to us, but we reached this agreement, I believe, 3 years ago. Therefore, what I'm asking for is approval to authorize the mayor and village clerk to execute a deed conveying outlot 8 over to Kersey Builders.
I have a motion on that, please.
I'll entertain that motion.
Second.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Racer,
Yes.
trustee Blue,
Yes.
trustee Gray,
Yes.
trustee Horn,
Yes.
trustee Vincent,
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. And we'll get those 4 lots by a deed next week, so those lots will be under our jurisdiction in order to put up the water tower. And the last item I have tonight, back in 2008, there was a lawsuit between ourselves and South Hollow Meadows. That case was resolved, but we did lien the property in 2008. We issued a release of lien, and a subsequent lien was filed against that property. They're asking us to sign a release of that lien. We did get paid pursuant to the settlement agreement. It appears as though that they might be selling that property, but they need this release. But we did get paid, I think 3 or 4 years ago. But we need a motion authorizing the mayor to execute the release of lien on behalf of the village of Monee.
I have a motion to release that lien.
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Second.
Going on something once.
You got your second. Any discussion on it? If not, roll call, please.
trustee Vincent,
Yes.
trustee Blue,
Yes.
trustee Gray,
Yes.
trustee Holston, trustee Horn,
Yes.
and trustee Racer.
Yes.
Okay, in old business, we have the board action request about the court lease agreement, and we're not really ready to do anything with that yet, so I'd like a motion to table this.
Make that motion.
I'll second that.
Any discussion on it? Got a lot deeper than I thought it would. Roll call, please.
Trustee Blue,
Yes.
trustee Gray,
Yes.
trustee Horn,
Yes.
trustee Racer,
Yes.
trustee Vincent.
Yes.
Okay, do we have any new business? If not, I'll move on to open to the public, non-agenda items. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes, but we'll never keep you to that unless you're on there for an hour. Must come to the podium. Anybody, any comments? Okay, we have anything on the executive session?
Yes, sir.
We do. Okay, that's right in front of me. I'd like a motion to move into executive session. Close open session. All right? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. For purchase of real estate, lease of real estate, section 2C5.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion on that? Roll call, please.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Racer?
Yes.
Trustee Benson?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to move into executive session, but I need to make a comment. We set a record tonight. Trustee Gray voted yes on everything. God bless you. I just had to do that.